A huge, pivotal and joy-filled day for Everton Football Club as they appoint the one and only Frank Lampard as their manager. What a monumental day. Today is the 28th of January 2022, and I think this date will resonate long into the future as Everton will look back on this day as the day they finally got it right. They have appointed Frank Lampard to be their manager, and I have forever been telling anyone that would ever listen that Frank Lampard is destined for greatness as a manager. The way that he conducts himself, the air that he carries himself, his understanding of the game, his intuition, his willingness to learn and to improve and to force himself to be one of the best in the world, all lead me to believe that he will be a top-tier manager. Time will tell if I'm going to be correct, but I think this is a huge day, both for Lampard and for Everton. Frank Lampard gets what he deserves. He gets a club with heritage, a club with history, a club with poise, and a club ready to be so much better. This is a wonderful opportunity for him because Everton are a massive football club. You know the way that I speak about Aston Villa? Aston Villa are a massive club. Everton are huge. And this opportunity for Frank Lampard is exactly what he needed. You know when people were talking about maybe Norwich for Lampard, it didn't suit, it wasn't right. This is perfect because Everton are a club that are starved of success. You know, they haven't won anything since Paul Rideout in 1995 scored that header at Wembley against Manchester United. But just before that, they were winning everything. Like, if you're just that, say you're a decade older than me, you were only really aware of Everton as a winning club. That team that they had was winners. They were winning leagues. That team that they had was Sheedy and Graham Sharp and Neville Southall. It was a brilliant team. Oh, Pat Vandenhouw. They were a brilliant team. But their fans are so ready to see that kind of thing again. And I think that they will believe in Frank Lampard. And I think Frank Lampard is coming into their club at the perfect time. Following on from Rafael Benitez, it's only good news. It's a bit like when the PIF took over Newcastle from Mike Ashley. They were only going to be welcomed because of who they're taking over from. Frank Lampard now will have some grace period. He will have some time. And I believe that he is going to hit the ground running. I believe that he is truly going to be a very good Everton manager. And I think that Everton are going to end their drought for silverware. I really do. If you look at the job that he did at Chelsea, I think it's very underrated. I think that people are very sneery about what happened, but let's just explore the facts. He took over a club that were in turmoil off the back of Maurizio Sarri. It was a club that had no transfer window, and it was a club that sold our saving grace that season to Real Madrid. So we had no transfer window, we lost our best player. A best player that papered over loads and loads of cracks. Frank Lampard had to come in and navigate a very rocky terrain. He had to do it by promoting kids. Tammy Abraham, Victor Rory, Reece James, Mason Mount, and look at the way these young lads have developed under Frank Lampard. Look at the players that they are today. A lot of that credit belongs to Lampard and Morris. Reece James has become a pivotal figure for club and country. Mason Mount has become a pivotal figure for club and country. And the team that Lampard was building went on to win the European Cup. The reason that Chelsea were in the European Cup was because of Frank Lampard. The reason that Chelsea were in the last 16 of the European Cup was because of Frank Lampard. So let's give Lampard the respect that he deserves. Even in the second season, when people constantly say that it went wrong, it was such a bad second season. Yes, Chelsea were ninth, but we were closer to the top then than we are now. You know, yeah, we were ninth. And if you're ninth at Chelsea, you're probably going to lose your job. But we were 5 points off top. It's not a lot. Add to that the fact that in his first season, he got to the FA Cup final, finished in the top 4, and the last 16 of the Champions League. I think that Lampard already has proved that he can do a job at management. I think he's already proved that he can elevate players' performances. I think he's already proved that he can work with young players. And Everton have some very exciting young players. And if you look at the way that the Chelsea team are now ripping it up, and a lot of those young players are so pivotal to the way that Chelsea play, this is very exciting for Everton. This really is. And I'm not surprised that Lampard has got this job. It is the right decision. I think there was a decision to be made with regard to Wayne Rooney. If Wayne Rooney was up for it, I could see why that would be appealing for an Evertonian as well. But the fact that he's been brilliant and loyal and pledged nothing but aggressive loyalty to Derby. I'm so full of admiration for Wayne Rooney with regard to his conduct and in his new role at Derby. It's a club that may not exist by the end of next month, and yet he is diligently trying to do the best that he can and trying to keep them in the Championship. Full of admiration, and I really hope that Rooney succeeds there, and I really hope that Derby succeed in their pursuit to survive. But as soon as Wayne Rooney wasn't in this conversation anymore, Frank Lampard was the only choice. He was definitely the only choice. I mean, who's he up against, really? I mean, there was even talk that Duncan Ferguson was being interviewed. Pereira, I'm just not having. And as soon as we heard that Frank Lampard had got to the second interview today, for me, it was only going to go that one way. It became so obvious that Lampard was the right option when he got the second interview. So I am so pleased. I'm thrilled to see Frank Lampard back. And I believe now that I will be vindicated. Frank Lampard is going to succeed. Frank Lampard is going to win silverware with Everton. And Frank Lampard is going to have a huge, huge impact to the managerial landscape of this country. It's not going to be an easy job, though. We must acknowledge that it's not going to be an easy job. If you look at what Ferguson has done since he took over from Benitez, he's lost 1-0 to Villa at the weekend. They didn't look particularly good, and they could have lost by more. If you look at what Benitez got up to, I mean, they recently lost to Norwich. I mean, that was at a time when nobody was losing to Norwich. So it's not going to be an easy job, but Lampard has all the skill, all the acumen, all of the desire, and all of the hunger. And I think that he is really going to be perfect for this job. And it really does suit for me. When you think that there was a time when it was looking like Palace could have been the option for him. It didn't feel like the right opportunity. Villa, but because of Perslow's links with Steven Gerrard, it was obviously not going to go Lampard's way. And I would, despite my unwavering love of Frank Lampard, I would acknowledge that Steven Gerrard was ahead of the queue for Lampard because of the stellar work he'd done at Glasgow Rangers. So this one for me just feels right. Norwich was never the right move. So this just feels almost perfect to me. And I am so excited for Lampard to get on with it. I think his first game will be the FA Cup 5th round tie against Brentford, February the 5th. So I may have an Everton mint that day, just as a discreet homage to Frank Lampard. I really hope it works well. And I can't wait for him to come back to Stamford Bridge next season with his Everton team. It would be an opportunity for us to give him the send-off that he deserves. But this is a massive day for Everton, a massive day for Lampard. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, I am delighted. I think, if you listen really closely, you can hear the Z-Cars thing playing from my bedroom. Exciting times, huge news for Lampard. Can't wait for him to get started. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I really hope that you're as excited as I am about this. Let me know. Do you think it's going to be a success, or are you one of the non-conformists? Do you think this is going to go to pot? Let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, click subscribe. The community that we're building on this channel means the world to me. And remember, go easy, step lightly, and stay free. Ta-da.